Alright, today we are going to learn how to use number lines in order to compare and order positive numbers and negative numbers. Have you seen the Hunger Games? It's really good. It didn't follow the book closely enough. I'm angry. Ugh. Okay, so we need to use number lines. They're not going to be giving you number lines every time you need to solve a problem. So you might see a problem that asks you to order or compare positive and negative numbers. And guess what you are going to do? You're going to sketch a number line. So we're going to practice sketching number lines in order to solve problems that involve number lines. So let's look at one of those problems. Here we are being asked to put these numbers in order from least to greatest. Negative 2, 5, negative 3, 2.5, and negative 2.5. Alright, so let's sketch out that number line, okay? Ha! It's much easier for me because I have a computer and I can do it with inserting images and stuff. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to be fair to you. I'm going to show you how I sketch out a number line. And it's not going to be pretty, but yours doesn't have to be pretty either. It just has to be functional. So I'm going to start from square one like you would start from. Okay, let's sketch out that number line. We're going to start off by making this nice line here. Yes, I'm still cheating, but I'm allowed to cheat. So we have a line. It's not quite a number line yet. Okay, yep, we got to add our little arrows because a number line will go on forever in both directions. Alright, and let's just, don't have to, but I'm going to call the center of this number line 0. Alright. Oh, we're off to a good start. We got a line and we have a 0. We have a starting place. Okay, now let's figure out, let's start with the positive numbers because positive numbers are nice to work with. We've been working a lot with positive numbers. So, I have a number that is 5, so let's just go, say, 5 away. This number is 5. And then I have 2.5. Okay, the number 2.5, is it bigger than 5 or less than 5? It's actually dead in between 0 and 5, so we're going to put our 2.5 right here. Remember that on a number line, positive 5 means that this is 5 units to the right of our of 0. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the distance here. Notice it's not exactly, you know, um, to scale, but that's okay. And then 2.5 would be 1, 2, and a half away from 0. And the same is true about the negative numbers. It just goes in the opposite direction to the left, which is in the negative direction. So let's take a look at our negative numbers. We have negative 2, negative 3, negative 2.5. Okay, well, let's just start. Let's just pick a spot for negative 2. Alright, so negative 2 means it's the distance of 2 away from 0. Okay, this 2.5 here looks like it's about here. So that would be maybe a little bit farther. Let's say here. Okay, so 2.5 looks like it's about that far away from 0. So if we want, actually, you know what we'll do? I'll tell you what. Because it's already there, let's just drop that negative 2.5 because we have to draw negative 2.5 at some point in time. So that looks like it's the same distance. Yeah, why not? Negative 2.5. Negative 2.5. I like it. So now we want to go we want to go distance of 2 away from 0. Let's take a look. So if this is 1, 2 and a half, okay, that looks like there might be a 2 right there. So let's throw that little 2 in there. This right here will end up being our 2. And then our 3, this is negative, by the way. Okay, that's our negative 2, negative 2.5. And then our negative 3 is 3 away from 0. It actually is farther. It's about here. Let's call that 3. Throw a little negative sign on there because it's not positive, it's negative. Okay, so we now have a number line that we have very, very crudely drawn, and you can probably draw a much prettier version than mine. But we have all the numbers. We have negative 3, we have negative 2.5, we have negative 2. 0 wasn't given to us, but 0 is always a nice one to throw in there because it's the sort of it's the nice sticking point between positive and negative numbers. We have our 2.5 and our 5. Okay, so we have every single number here. So now they want it in order from least to greatest. Please pay attention to the order they want it in, because if they said from greatest to least, it would be a completely different answer. So because they want it from least to greatest, we have to figure out, well, what is the least and what is the greatest. Your least is always down here to the right of the number line. So the farther, I'm sorry, left of the number line. So the farther left it is on the number line, the lesser the value is. And the farther right on the number line, this is the greater numbers. You kind of understand greater numbers and number lines through positive numbers. You know that the bigger the positive numbers, the greater the value is. But once you start throwing negatives in there, it can get a little confusing. So that's why we're using this number line. So the farther right you go, the greater the number. The farther left you go, the number gets lesser. So because they want it from least to greatest, look at that. That ends up being really nice for us because we already have it in order from least to greatest, going from left to right. So our answer would just end up being the -3, -2.5, -2, 2.5, and 5. Look at that. Looks all nice and neat. That one might have been, well, might have been nice for you. You might have been able to do it without a number line, but there are times where it might be easier to see these problems through a number line. Let's take a look at this one. Which number is greater? Greater, -4 or -4.5? Our instincts tell us that this number is bigger. 4.5 is bigger, therefore -4.5 is bigger. Is it though? Let's take a look on that number line, and let's actually draw on a pen that's not going to be erased as soon as I turn my back for a couple seconds. Alright, so we have our number line. Again, very wonderfully drawn by myself. We have our 0. Now, -4 is a distance 4 away from 0. Let's just arbitrarily call that -4. Okay. -4.5. That distance is 4.5 away from 0. So that means that it's actually farther left than -4. Okay. Now, do you remember what we called the left side and what we called the right side? The left side was the least. So over here you have your least. And over here you have your greatest. Now let's read the problem again. Which is greater, -4 or -4.5? So, oops, just almost erased everything. So if we look at this, we see that which one is the farthest to the right? This guy is. -4 is greater than -4.5. Why is that? Because -4 is only 4 away from 0. -4.5 is 4.5 away from 0. Now, if it was in the positive direction, being farther away from 0 means your value is increasing. But because you're in the negative section, because you're going to the left with negative numbers, the farther away from 0 you get, the lesser value it is, the lesser value your number becomes. So actually, -4 is greater than -4.5. A very nice example of why it might be worth it to draw a number line when you're trying to order or compare positive and negative numbers. I think we're going to stop there, and we're going to work on some more examples in class.